Awesome, great, glorious day it is. This is the day the Lord has made, and indeed we shall rejoice and be glad in it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Umubanga podcast, where we aim to inform, transform, as well as inspire. What did the previous host for last week say? Inform, inspire, transform. Like, anyways, yeah. Like, people are still learning the intro. And I think this is like 2 years later, and people haven't mastered the intro. I think the easiest way is any person guest hosting, I think, should have their own intro. That way, it will not be piercing my heart. But all in all, we are here, we are great, and I have somebody who's always in the background, and today has showed up, though late. He was the first person to say, oh, I'll show up, and then showed up late. Ladies and gentlemen, Israel.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
It's good morning.
Hi, sir. How are you?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Glad to have you on the podcast. I know this is your first time.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm trying to breathe. This is another side of the podcast, always used to being in the background.
Well, this shouldn't scare you. You're always on Radio Christian Voice.
Yes, sir.
Talking on radio and in front of the camera. So this shouldn't scare.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah, awesome. How was church?
Church was great. We had a powerful sermon from Bishop Mususu.
Mm-hmm.
He was teaching us about true Christianity. So he was trying to teach us on how we have to be not just members of a particular congregation and believe in what the congregation believes in, but we have to believe in what is true. And he gave an example of how Trinity is real, but it's not a word that's recorded in the Bible. And he said the fact that the word Trinity is not in the Bible doesn't mean you shouldn't know it as a Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the theme scripture?
The theme scripture. He was using, I've forgotten the theme scripture, but I remember it was from Genesis, and he was talking about how the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters.
That's Genesis 1.
Yeah. That's actually 1 verse 1, yeah?
No.
Yeah, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the... Oh, it's verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
So...
let's read.
Yes, sir. Sir, we are on camera.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Kylie, you have sons and daughters, so we're just saying that... yeah.
It would break his heart.
Verse 2, the part B, which says, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Yeah. Because in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. I think Genesis 1 verse 1 is like those Sunday school scriptures where each and every person in Sunday school should be able to know what Genesis 1 verse 1 says. So, yeah, bro. Okay. So, true Christianity, being able to study God's word and knowing what he says, right?
Yeah.
I guess that was the main emphasis.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes, sir. Did you go to church?
Yes, I did, though I was late because I was doing other business, my father's business. Yeah, I was late. We went to a TV station, so the interview was like from 8:30 to 9:30. So by the time I'm getting to church, it was, I think, 10:30 or so. Yes. Though the man of God was preaching on First Chronicles It's Chronicles. I'm trying to remember.
What does it say?
No. Okay, yeah, it's Chronicles. First Chronicles chapter number 4 and verse 9 to 10. The story of Jabez, where he cries out to God that, will you not bless me and enlarge my
territory? Yeah.
And he was just just breaking down what that scripture means, and how Jabez prayed, and how we as children of God should be able to pray to our Father.
Yes, sir.
And how Jabez was able to just command. So he was breaking down the different meanings, like what that pain in that context meant and stuff like that. So yeah, it was interesting. It was great. And then after that, just yeah. So it was a good service. But anyways, we go to the news of the week. I'm actually using from the top of my head because the people who are supposed to be sending through the script did not send it through. So yes, to the team members who did not send through the script. But I think one of the stories which was making headlines, I think this happened like immediately the podcast recording was done, and then boom, social media went ablaze. Like boom,
Yeah.
Chairman Pompi in the Crocodile Park. Like, what were your thoughts like when you saw Pompi post that? Like, what did you think?
I saw a side of Pompi people do not expect. People thought, I don't think we know Pompi for such. So at the back of our minds, we thought it's just like creating an ad for the same place. And then influence hits, boom, people share, people like, he gains more followers. And even him, he's like shocked, like the amount of followers I've gained.
No, but the question is, when you read what he said, what were your first thoughts and impressions? Did you feel the chairman was like place 1640?
No, but then like after I really like thought about it, like thinking through in the whole story, I was thinking, so how do they now give them a tour like in 20 minutes? They are like exhausted. People show up for work at 8. I mean, then boom, like they're about to close. They're just waiting for like people to come out, and then there's somebody who wants to walk in.
Yeah,
I think maybe it might have been the customer service that was just done. Probably it influenced his response. However, I don't.
So in his first write-up, he mentioned, I think the key word there was a rude experience. That was the key word there.
Yeah.
Right? He did mention that One African is 1640. Right? And I think it was even deliberate. But then that 1640 time like became like a whole meme. Like yeah, but I think number one for him, it was the customer service. And number two, the communication, which wasn't clear. I think such businesses, when you state to say, oh, we are open from 8 to 17, it means that in that space of time, I can go in. It's the same thing. Like when I walk into ShopRite if ShopRite closes like at 20 hours, if I walk into ShopRite at 19:50, I'll still be allowed to enter because it's not yet the closing time.
Yeah.
And then I'll be able to shop and then leave. So at exactly 20 hours, they're not allowed to allow in more people. So I think for him, number one, it was a thing of poor customer service and poor communication. Yeah, and then when it came out, like pretty much a lot of people made fun of him. Like, he's too entitled. Icon man, chairman, I pay for my chairman. Like, it was interesting to see where like even majority of the Christians were not on his side. And sometimes like you get to see comments where some of the comments were just like, my guys mazechena kafukwa na pompi. Like you just wanted to say something like and now you found an opportunity to just verbally abuse him. So it was interesting to see. And one of the things which happened is that he did not back down.
Not even deleting the post.
He did not back down. He made sure he proved his point.
Yeah.
And before we know it, time at the last entry, 16 hours.
But you know what the same Crocodile Park have done? They've now put a sign because it wasn't there.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that the impact of what Pompi did made them change their policies. Remember, they as well even issued a statement to say, no, they thought they won. But no, this person is super, super strong. And you wanted to say something?
Yes. as Zambians, I think we have this tendency of saying Zambian time and whatnot.
Yeah.
But then, this is according to my analysis of what transpired and whatnot.
Yeah.
I
Based
think
off a Facebook post, though. Yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
of respect to the Facebook
Yep.
post and whatnot. I think he wasn't wrong going there around 1640
Yeah.
because it's the same like you said. ShopRite closes around 20 hours, so if I go in around 1940, I'll be able to shop and whatnot. It's not as if they are going to chase me because their policy says they close exactly 20 hours.
Yeah.
So if I go in before that time, I'm okay. But where they were wrong for me, what prompted him really to react was the way he was addressed. You know, you're a business owner and somebody comes to you for the first time. Your first reaction should be like trying by all means to like educate them how you work and whatnot, in as much as your policy does not really align with what the time that the person has come in.
Yeah.
Like, for example, they were just supposed to say, no, around this particular time, we do not like allow people to tour around because we close exactly around 17 hours, which means that you can't come in around 1640 because we need to like, you need to tour around. There are certain things that needs to be done in order for that whole process.
Yeah.
Politely. That's how you entice customers.
Yeah.
But if you're going to be aggressive and you tell the person about your personal feelings, like, what are you doing? what do you mean I'm hungry?
The question
Like,
I have behind the back of my head was that whatever Pompi did, like, was it necessary?
It was.
It was.
You think so?
Yes. So this has changed how companies are doing business, especially visiting spaces. Like if I'm going to go for a game drive and all those things, like now they'll communicate to say, oh, we are open from 8 to 17, but admission time is, the last admission time is 16 hours. So now there's even proper communication. You can even read, right? So the other thing which most people are saying to say, no, the organization had that. But then they had it wasn't visible.
Yeah.
Ndiyo often go beninga section B.
Or vertical 3.3.
Like it's written down there. So clear communication is everything in such spaces. And they did that. They changed that. And kudos to Pompi. I think one of the things which we get to see is that he might not have the millions of followers, but he has the actual influence to get things done. I think the many things he's been able to just... You remember he had that time for the gambling thing, the billboard thing, which was at a school. He just wrote about that, and next day we see it's no longer there. So that's actual impact.
Yeah.
So and it's really great to see that we have people who are able to push things to get done, where somebody has a voice and something is done. That even the Consumer Protection Commission even came through to say, we are investigating what happened. So that you get to see that this person has actual impact. It's not just Facebook numbers and followers. Because we've seen people, millions of followers, but when they say something sensible, nobody follows.
My worry, though, is Pompi is like a very influential person.
Yeah.
And so when he writes something like that, maybe somebody lost their job because of that particular thing, but the blame should be on management, I want to believe.
Yeah.
But then the fact that it's Pompi who was denied, what was happening here? Like the manager just showed up.
I don't think so. And we shouldn't... You see, that's our other take. Like, we have this laissez-faire approach to say, no, if I
the other approach would be what the positivity that has come out of it. Was it the intention of his post?
It was the intention of his post. Definitely, it was the intention of his post. If it wasn't the intention of his post, he was going to take it down and not stand on his ground.
I hear you.
So, remember, hospitality requires that you are hospitable. Like, you are kind, you're polite, even how you talk, even how you speak to people. And that space allows in a lot of people to be able to come through. And I think the other beautiful thing is the fact that they didn't know I 100% think that the person who was talking to him did not know who he was.
Because if it was like, oh, it's Pompi, please. Let's take a
the
picture.
memes were on fire. Like, after the crocodiles are like, it's a 16-foot and the shitagon and the mulungu. Like, it was just, and companies ran wild with those crocodile adverts, like just free marketing. They like, so yeah. But it was a good thing to see. For me, key takeaway is great impact. And I think as people, we should strive to be able to do that, where we stand on our grounds. Like let your yes be a yes and your no be a no. Not I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like you say something, the next day you backtrack because you've received massive backlash. It got to a place where now he was enjoying the backlash as well. And just posting whatever people were saying. Like, and it's supposed to be like that, where your no is a no and the yes is a yes. Like, as a person, be able to stand for something.
Yeah.
Because if you're unable to stand for something, you fall for anything.
Very true.
So, yeah. Another story which was interesting was the 200 pupils who were suspended
for missing
at Matero Boys Secondary School for missing Easter. Yeah, like parents were upset that they were suspended.
Is it in the constitution? Like, is it a law somewhere?
Where? In Zambia?
That was like okay?
Yes, it is okay. So, is Matero Boys a government school?
I want to believe so.
No,
it's not.
It's a Catholic school. So yeah, by the way, a huge congratulations to Israel. He recently graduated from his Bible school. We need a degree, diploma, certificate.
Degree.
Degree.
But what degree? It's an American degree.
For how long?
It started off online. Mm-hmm. Then we had like a
how long?
It was for like 2 years and some months.
I see. Congratulations on your degree. Our friends bagging theology degrees.
For the glory of the...
You better use it, not just keeping it as a piece of paper where you're just proud to say, oh, no, I graduated. And anyways.
There are a lot of people who have those things that are not...
the point is this, right? When you signed up for school, weren't you given a code of conduct?
Yeah, we were.
You were?
Yes, sir.
So it meant that immediately you sign up, right? Whatever you're taught to do and the things you're supposed to follow through, you're supposed to follow through. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing. If you go to a Catholic school, do you think they'll have SDA Mass or SDA service?
No.
Do you think they'll have Pentecostal service? How will they run things? The Catholic way. So same thing. Each and every child who enrolled to Matero Boys Secondary School signed a student or pupils code of conduct. The parents as well signed to say, oh, we have agreed that our son will go through these Catholic teachings and they'll be faithful to attend Mass, they'll be faithful to attend all these things. So you cannot come and say, oh, why are you suspending my son when you actually cried? And you see, funny thing is that majority of the parents, so majority of the mission schools, like the schools by the Catholics, the UCZ, like these are schools which, quote unquote, produce bright people. The standards of learning are good. I guess so. I've never been. A lot of people pass, right? So the pass rate is really, really high. But a lot of people pass. And so a lot of parents want to take their children to such schools. So immediately you take your children to such schools, you have to be bound by the rules and regulations of that school. So each and every person who goes to a Catholic school has to learn the way of the Catholics. So for me, it was terrible to see parents come and say, oh no, why are you suspending my child? I'm like, but ndimo mnampeleka ako.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's flip it. You take your child to a Muslim school. Mm-hmm. Will you tell the Muslim guys to say, why did you suspend my son for not attending, what do they go? For not going to the mosque or attending the prayers?
No.
Why not?
Because I want to believe that the school is run by Muslim.
So why is it different? Why did you feel that it was wrong for the thing? the Catholic Church or the Catholic school to suspend those pupils.
It's not wrong. I don't think it's wrong, but I just feel like
It was harsh.
it's
it's
and then
discipline.
it's just because it's a Sunday. Is it? Do they even have it on paper? Like,
Yes, it
how
is on
sure
paper.
are you that is like
No, it is on
politicized?
paper. So it is on paper. The thing is that we sign up for some of these things without reading.
We don't read, yeah.
Like, and that's what I've told you to say. You have enrolled your child to an Islamic school, and you want them to learn Christian principles. How?
No, I hear you. I definitely hear you.
So, majority of us don't read, and one of the things, the cultures I've seen now online is that we are so reactive. Sometimes I'm just like, Avakulu vena masaka.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. But sometimes you look at it to say, but sir, you're supposed to be aware of wisdom, but wisdom is nowhere near you. Like, so these are things which we really, really, really need to look at and not just be reactive, but see. Yeah.
Yeah, but 200 is a big number.
Yes.
And the Catholics are busy that they even managed to identify those 200 people.
Boss, nangani pressure here. Actually, they can suspend them, and those numbers will be filled the next day. You think as if they're short of people. Do you know how, like, immediately people say wakapasa grade 7 or grade 9 going to 10?
Yeah.
Like, Catholic schools have a long waiting list. No. Ni pushing in mwana wanga. Or not just 600 wanga kukanire so. Because like it's because they have proven that their quality of education is great. So schools where you cannot say, oh, why did you suspend my children for not attending this, are schools which are government owned. Because they are there for everybody.
No, I was at a Catholic school myself. And I was there from like 10 to 12. I'd never participated in...
Because it could be that you were very few of you who were rebellious.
No, even the impact of the policies, it wasn't that harsh. But for us, it was different. For us, they highly encouraged still belonging, and it was in a rural area. It was a boarding school in Kalulushi, Lufwanyama, those ends. So I'm just thinking about what statement or why that happened.
It could be that they noticed that, because 200 is a big number. So they noticed to say, okay, we have roughly, say, 1,000 students.
Yeah.
And maybe like 400 or so showed up. So it could be those dynamics at play. So they're like, so
but could it also be like a statement thing? Like,
yes, it could be a statement.
We are doing this so that you guys will be examples. Like.
Yes. It is a statement thing. Everything is a statement thing.
Yeah, so far everything is
a statement thing. So yeah. What else happened during the week?
Yesterday, Arnold Mwanza was elected last president, Law Association of Zambia.
Arnold Mwanza ni
Nindani.
Wakamba zina ya boza.
Nindani.
We.
Sina berenge bwino.
Arnold Mwanza. It's Arnold Kaluba or something. Iwe Israel. It wants to be a thing.
Nizamile terere sagoro.
Una watichite thing.
Allegedly.
Yes, it's Arnold Kaluba, not...
No, I'm allegedly.
Do you know why you're saying Arnold Mwanza?
Why did that name come to my mind?
Why did that name come to your mind? It's because you are a huge fan of Pastor Cham.
Oh, Arnold Mwanza, captain.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Really, like, sometimes I'm just like, anyways, I
know
where
Kaluba.
Yes, it is. So he was appointed last president. Yeah.
So let me a quick question, yeah. So Law Association of Zambia, they like oversee the functions of lawyers and the whole association.
Yes.
Then Zial is just for examining them. It's just like a filter and
so Ziali is like, how do I put it? is like the licensing
Institution.
institution. So, for example, what are you studying?
Public administration.
So you're doing public administration. So which organizations run public administration?
So far, we have some others that have come up. It depends with where you're working, really.
Oh.
So it depends if you like get into human resource. There's a different association.
So those different associations are like your licensing associations in order for you to practice.
Yeah.
So Ziali to lawyers is the licensing organization where if you pass Ziali, then you can fully function as a lawyer. No. You can now appear, I think, before the High Court.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the courts of Zambia, and you'll be given things to do now to function in a better way. So, for example, if you're just a student and you graduate, you are, I don't know how they put it, like you're a lawyer, I think, but you cannot, if there's a case, you cannot go and stand in the courts and represent anyone. So, anyways, I'll read up on it more and then we'll come back on it. So, so the Mr. Arnold Kaluba was elected as president, and then Sonia Shamwana serving as vice president. Misozi Hope Novas Masengu takes up the role of honorary secretary, while Mwamba Silumbu Kankondo continue as honorary treasurer, and then there were other council members as well who were appointed. Another story which has been in the news is something which Kondwani Banda put up to say, no, the police did a thing, a recruitment in private for 4,000.
That's my relatives. I saw it on Binwo's.
But anyways, they said that they already have a database on where they got the names. They used the names based off those who had applied last time. So, so that's how come they didn't.
Isn't there supposed to be like a procedure?
Yeah,
how do people audit what has happened if they have to work off a database? Which
I don't know. So some of these things are not so clear. Look, thing is that we have to actually read on them. So right now we're just like speaking off the cuff because whatsoever we say may be used against us in the court. So, but it's a matter of reading through and just saying. But this felt like it's not clear and fair,
and it's not being given attention.
Yeah, so I know at some point, my recruitment thing, is it army?
Even
went for runnings and so look, a lot has been happening. I don't know, maybe because we are not interested in some of these things, that's why we don't come across them.
The time I was going to, I've been privileged to go to army trainings before.
No.
But the time I
guess you did not survive, but anyways.
Yeah, the time I was
here with us.
The time I was going, the applications and the whole process was very popular at that time. We had to look for our names in the newspaper. I remember at that time. I went there. The time I was going there, I already had like my acceptance letter from Onza.
Yeah.
So like 4 days in, I was just like, but it was very popular at that time. And I remember they were even giving each other like opportunities. Like there'll be like a month, it's just for Zambia police. All these others are quiet. Zambia police goes, then ZNS comes up. Like there was that wave, and then they even posted in the news that there is no any other official recruitment except the ones that are published in newspaper. Yeah. But then over time, we've seen that, there's actually a policy that every year they have to do a recruitment.
Yeah.
Which is like very blurry.
Of course, we'll wait and see how it goes, how things work.
You're aware that some time back it was like in fact, I don't know if it still is, but I saw something in the news like 2 days ago, like exporting like milli meal grains. Like it was it was illegal. They even had like ZNS on border posts, and they would like impound vehicles.
Yeah.
People would run away, would get shot. But then I saw that government has lifted those restrictions and they've opened the markets.
Yeah. So the reasons why there was a ban on exporting maize by a lot of people was that we had a deficit.
No, but even before,
So
it was. I think it was like a law.
there was an aspect of the deficit. That's what brought in the law to cut in exports. But now, the past, I think, 3 years, we've had like massive bumper harvests.
Yeah.
So now government does not have capacity to be able to buy. So the rule was this: government buys from the farmers and then government exports on behalf of the farmers so that farmers are not scammed.
So it's not. So it's still no individual should go do the business for
So
themselves.
now what they've done is that now they've opened it to say individuals now can just go and export because there's a massive bumper harvest. Hopefully this will translate to Ngokubwerera pants. I'm actually looking forward to the campaign promises. Unga, mkanjita elect. Isanga pa 40 quad. I'm like, which math? Which maths? Like right now, like if somebody tells you that, just ask them to say which maths? Which maths? Because the math ain't mathing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I hear you.
So now like it's free for all. Yeah.
The pressure with this here is that everything is politicized. Like we'll look at it as they've just opened for politics' sake. Like,
Look, I feel if anything, this is actually the best year to do certain things.
because prices go down.
Prices go down.
Electricity is there.
Electricity is there. You have access to certain things. Money might be available somewhere if you align yourself with somebody who is running for office. Like all those things. So, kuishiba number later. Like just know where you are positioned in and which side you'll be on. So, look, this is the best time. So farmers should really, really grab this and just run with it and make the most money. So even if briefcase people come through, just sell them at a good price. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to what we'll have and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Great. Looking
Yeah.
forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
Also looking forward to the official implementation of the 24-hour economy. Like, can't wait.
Look, the 24-hour economy is dependent on the types of businesses as well and where. For example, if we are to run a 24-hour economy to city market,
That's
it means
crazy.
that security has to be proper. Because by the time ni chokache market,
Maybe for
nina so. So that's the pressure. So immediately security measures are put in place. We have like proper surveillance, CCTV in place for the main streets and all. Like that would be great. And then we need a lot of street lights because there are so many dark spots in our ways. Because if you just even walk like Cairo Road, like sometimes Kuma 18, like it's not the safest. Pita pamakamwala paja 18, 19, like it's no longer safe. So
kupena kupita like
yeah,
roundabout paja sunga pita.
the only things which like, and not all of them have been like filling stations,
Yep.
like operate like 24 hours. Not all of them though. And they always have to have like their own security people there. Of course, it's as well not the safest. So we need like proper security measures to be able to implement the 24-hour economy. So that's as well dependent on businesses. Because it would be great where I need an outfit for tomorrow. I can go to Commerce or to City Market and I know by 23, 24 and Zadurikira 01, I might still find something. Like
Samantha, have you noticed that today Mr. Umubanga has been like very positive about everything? It's like it's been a good week.
No,
nabeshuba namba balete like
what
sir, are you running for
No, he's
office
happy.
or you're supporting someone? Like everything is okay. No, I hear you though. I hear you.
Of course. The other one is Binu Mpondo always being chased from parliament. Like so. Just like Boss in Chan. But anyways, it's a thing. How do I put it? I think it's always great to see people who stand on what they believe, despite sometimes what they believe being wrong or not being correct. But it's always great to see somebody stand for something. And that's what I was talking about on Pompi, that as people, we need to learn to stand by our words. Let your no be a no. Let your yes be a yes, right? And Binwo keeps it that way. He can be 100% wrong, and he will stick to his wrong, right? And he can be sometimes 100% correct, and he will stick to that. So for me, I believe that we need people who are able to stick to their values and principles, to their beliefs. In that way, even if I'm political defections, if Zambo chitika maning, why? Because you have people who just believe. For example, you see the way the American elections or parties are run, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Republican, you're a Republican. If you're a Democrat, you're a Democrat. So Republicans are the ones who side with Trump, and then Democrats are the ones with Kamala Harris and all that, right? So the Republicans, right, they might not agree with Trump,
but they'll still stick
to him. And he can do whatever. They'll still stick to him. Why? Because they've established to say, let my yes be a yes and a no be a no. Let people know where I stand, not Milo. As Dreams, Mr. Music says, like where you're just found, like where everywhere where it's trending, where it's proper and things are running okay. So for me, I believe that somebody like him is needed, and just somebody who's, of course, sometimes he comes out disrespectful, but we need somebody like that who's able to stand on their ground. And
he's aiming for president.
Boss, even me tomorrow I can aim for president.
Now the pressure is kind of, the weird is that people think the fact that it's like a continuous thing, like it has to happen over and over again. There's some just sort of being childish attached to.
But you see, the thing is that as a nation or as a people, we don't like expressing ourselves.
Expression is not the issue.
No.
It's how you express yourself.
Look, somebody will write a thought on Facebook, and someone will comment to say, I was actually thinking that. Thank you for writing on my... I'm like, why didn't you write? Why should you always wait for somebody to speak for you? Right? And he has established and he's seen that, look, I have influence.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't he help the CBU people get their monies?
From my observation, he did, but from their response, he did not.
But the thing is that
you saw the statement by the CBU president.
Yeah, the way he was disrespecting Binwo. But the thing is, you should always look at it to say, this is somebody as well who's getting things done. This is somebody who brings a lot of things to light. So it's really, really important that we see as well what he's doing. There's so many things which we didn't know of. There's some laws which were brought up, and he brought them to light. These are things which were just going to be quiet. Very few MPs talk. Okay, apart from Binwo Mbundu, which other MP do you know?
I know Munduwire. I know
you know Munduwire and Mausampa because they're always fighting with the PF. Actually, think about it. Do you ever hear Munduwire and Mausampa talk about the issues happening around Parliament and the laws happening? Those ones are fighting for their PF stuff.
I know Kabuswe. I know Mr. Honorable Makoto.
But do they talk about anything?
No.
Have you? Because Honorable Makoto is what? Energy Minister, right?
Yeah.
If he's speaking, it means that they're talking about fuel or electricity. If it's Pokabuswe, it's either we are seeing him sing with Kings Malembe Marembe.
Is that a concert?
He's at a concert leading in worship, or he's talking about their minds, right? But you never hear them talk about what's happening or them bringing out the views of their constituents, not constituency and then constituents, yes. The people of the constituency. So, yes, you never hear them say all those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's rare. Like there are MPs actually, I think, who have never said anything in Parliament. The past 5 years, he's just sitting down on a tenure of office. And then they just get paid for sitting in. Yeah, business. Anyways, we have to close early today, Kylie. Tina recording in Angebuela. Yes. Any other thoughts?
No, not really. Just thinking about this whole thing. It's brought me to Christianity. Yeah, like
I thought maybe you talk about Chile Wana and Tiana. Like, I don't know. It's alleged that Chile Wana was following Tiana.
I'm trying
in a white unregistered Benz.
I'm trying to run away from the conversation.
No, but okay, look. Aren't you of this world? You are in this world.
But not of this world.
Kwasira, but the fact that you are of this world, it means that you then have to understand and know what's happening in this world. Because how will you preach to people you do not know?
What's the context behind the scripture? Paul says that we should not be entangled in civilian affairs.
So, look. When a Chile Wana and Tiana, some future members.
Bakadibonkala members.
Bakadibonkala members. But then you, as a man of God, as a minister, you should be able to see, okay, how are people doing relationships in the world?
Yeah.
How are people living in the world? Why is it that Wale talk on a day and night? So like all these things, like in order for us to be effective ministers of the gospel, we need to understand the environments we are in.
Yes,
and you see, Paul, if you've done your studies properly, is that Paul understood the areas he was in, right? I think there's a portion in Acts where he's talking to the scholars, and then he's talking about them to say, you guys have an inscription written to the unknown God. Let me now tell you about this unknown God so that you know about him, right?
Yeah.
Because the way the Greek Empire was is that they had so many gods they were worshipping, there's so many things they were doing. So each and every person had their beliefs.
Yeah.
So now Paul saw that and said, oh, there's what? Who are the gods? There's Zeus, there's all these
the bows.
Different gods, right? But then there's this inscription to the unknown God. He's like, oh, I have seen that as an opportunity. Let me reintroduce these people to Jesus Christ. And then he begins to use that. Now, in order for Paul to be able to reach out to them, he had to understand the ways of thinking. That's why it's crazy when a pastor says, I don't need to go to school. I'm like, boss, then you will then speak to a shallow people.
Yeah.
And even how you bring out certain things will be shallow. Here's what happens in churches now. In churches now, you have CEOs. And then you, the pastor.
You don't know anything.
You don't know anything. The CEO comes to you and says, hey, I am having issues at work and I need guidance. A learned or pastor who's well informed and vested with the things of the world. Remember, we're not of this world, but we understand how this world operates, right? So a pastor who's well vested in these things, in these affairs, will then be able to guide the CEO to say, oh, look at it in this way, look at it in this perspective. That's why a pastor needs to be well read. A pastor needs to you don't need to do like a lot of deep reading, but have a basic understanding of everything. That when somebody comes to you, they're able to find you as a voice of reason and the voice of wisdom. The boy Jesus Christ grew in wisdom, in stature, and obtained a favor from God and man. He grew in wisdom. It meant that Jesus had to learn the way the world operates. And that's how he was effective. So, yeah. So we need that. Go back to know why was you operating one. Cindy, ever watched that trendy for social media?
Zebalipo.
Ndakustuka day and night. Kumwela, you my favorite. I know you're upset with me that I'm singing.
No, sir, I'm not.
Like no, last time you got offended. Like
that's mnaimba. Awe nyimbo zinangu yae. Nyimbo zinabwe. Munakamba pali wasagi vevana chita response.
Vevana kamba, but no interacting with secular artists.
Kaidija is a response, allegedly.
Look,
yeah.
Here's my take: is that some of these things cannot be cast in stone. That they, some of these things require wisdom.
Before you go to him, I want you to like just say yours, like your take.
My take is this, right? Collaborations are in different levels. Okay, so for example, if we're going to talk about HIV and AIDS and peace and unity, we can do that. If this person is in a space of longing and wanting, instead of me first doing it publicly, let's work out certain things privately. I think we look at collaborations from the surface. For me, I feel let's build relationships first with the people we are collaborating with, so that even when we're doing certain things, we know so we have firmly built a proper foundation. However, here's my take away from just artists, right? Is that when we say Christians should not collaborate with secular artists, I always think to say the companies we do business with are not Christian companies, majority of them. The companies we buy clothes from, which we wear, in Saptore Mona Gucci Moeche somebody give me, and pastors Balenciaga, like designer clothes, right? Dior, Christian,
up and down.
Dior, like Versace, like all these clothing brands are not Christian, but we gladly wear them, and we wear them in church. So question is, why then don't you throw away those clothes? Because they're not Christian clothes. So that argument is shallow. So that's why I'm saying that we should look at it from a broader perspective. So, for example, you're in school, and then the school decides to put you with somebody who is a Muslim. So will you say, I'll not stay with this person? Right? Christianity tells us that we can live with this person. In Scripture tells us that we should be at peace with one another, right? Christianity then entails that I'll live with my Muslim brother, and I'll show him the love of Christ, not just in word, but in deed, in what I am doing, that he'll be able to see, oh, this one is like Jesus, and I want to follow him. Some of the salvation stories, and there are some people who've come to me and told me to say, oh, hey, I gave my life to Jesus Christ because I just saw how you used to walk and just serve God, and I was really impressed by what you were doing, and I decided to give my life to Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's that. So we shouldn't look at it, and these conversations, sometimes I look at it to say somebody just wanted likes on this. That's all. No, of course not Pastor Osagi.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, that some of these things like are blown out of like no proper context sometimes. So that's how I don't take some of the Facebook comments at face value and just run with them that they are truth. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, passing video in Tambe, so
it's very hard to it's very hard for a person who does not have the information you have just shared to understand or see that from that particular collaboration.
But then it requires knowledge.
No, it also requires us people who are stewards in the faith to like do a very good job. When Jesus Christ says we cannot be his disciple, we are not worthy of being his disciples if we cannot carry the cross. Some of the things we do are just for personal satisfaction.
Because Jesus Christ was chilling with prostitutes and tax collectors.
For the ministry, for the sake of... He was just going like, let me go for a chill.
No. That's what I'm saying, that
you're right. But I'm saying there's context to that, and there's the knowledge that you have just shared.
Yeah.
But then for a person who is like, Ruben Ngaimbati, Ruben and like the next thing is And like the song is like, it's like there's a like
Yeah.
yes, only boss. Like, but yeah, so I'm saying even that for me, I feel there are a lot of Pompi has sung with Chef. Of course, the conversation around it is that Pompi has always said in a kingdom artist, not gospel artist. But then, if the people who are receiving whatever services we're offering do not have the knowledge of what we are doing, we are not being proper stewards. So for me, I feel Ruben can do a better job, not to satisfy himself because he feels it's okay, which of course from the knowledge you've shared, it might be all right.
I think somebody did a proper write-up on it, and I'll ask him one of these fine days to just come through. Holik, Bright Chancer, I don't know if you know him.
Oh, lately he's been dropping bombs like
yeah,
online.
no, it's not even just dropping bombs. It's just bringing clarity to some of these things. And that's why I'm saying that let your yes be a yes and a no be a no. Stand on something. And actually bring scripture to support that. Actually have like 10 scriptures support what you're saying. Then a matter is established. And I think he's done a great job so far. He's like a lone voice in all this. Kelly, we're emotional sometimes in how we look at these things. It's the same thing. Na matatus na machani, because we feel a certain way. The first thing we want to do is like let the person be, like let them have an encounter with Jesus that they'll begin to see, to say, oh, I am not supposed to be like this. But anyways, we have to go now.
Yep.
Let me play a song. Promoting your own. Joyce ZM. Actually, if you watch the video for this song, Israel was the drummer in the song.
You won't see him. You won't see him, but he was there.
So we're saying bye. There's Joyce ZM song playing. So if I switch on these speakers, it's Zapanga feedback. So no, don't switch off. Don't switch off. I will.
You reduce from your end.
Mm-hmm. So from me, Dennis Umubangamedia, I say, oh, I'm supposed to look into the cameras. So from me, Dennis Umubangamedia, we say bye-bye, leaving you with sounds of Joyce ZM with Jacob. So if you watch the Friday episode, I'll be talking to Jacob as well as Joyce, the writers or the singers in the song. So looking forward to seeing you. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow us everywhere. Follow the prophet Israel. Oh, by the way, his full names are Israel Jacobs Munyeo, founder of Making Jesus Famous. So make sure you follow Making Jesus Famous on Facebook, and then you see a link with the WhatsApp channel. Not WhatsApp channel, the WhatsApp community, and then you can be able to join in the different. Which days do you have like prayer?
We have Bible study Tuesday and Thursday. Then we have prayer on Friday.
Prayer on Friday. So join in, tune in. Wonderful things are happening. Jesus is becoming famous and more famous. He's being preached. And so from me, Dennis Umubangamedia and Israel, we say bye-bye.